down in my purse. Really? Then pay your way. You didn't really choose well. And your homeboy's way. If you could buy and sell your man in a minute, baby. Hello, knockouts. Tonya TKO here. And as you know, I'm a self-love specialist on TonyaTKO.com. I help you learn how to love yourself and each other. On this channel, we use viral video topics as teachable moments for dating, relationships, both platonic and romantic in our own lives, as well as examples for what self-abusing through relationships look like. So today we're going to be talking about Nicki Minaj and this situation with her and Kenneth Petty and how she cursed out the people. One of the recent videos that I did, we talked about that young lady who was a battered woman and how my perspective has completely shifted on attempting to help people that do not want to be helped. So I'm going to play this for you all, and I'm going to be playing a clip from Chrissie's video. Chrissie is a vlogger on YouTube who talks about dark skin issues and leveling up and colorism. So she has that on her platform. If you're a dark skin, light skin, brown skin, caramel skin, whatever skin person you are, listen to her videos because it provides a lot of insight for where it is that we are, how we got here, and how to get out of it. And speaking of skin, because my skin is so popping, I want you to go ahead and give this a thumbs up. Go thumbs up the video, share the video, comment below. I want to hear your thoughts. We're going to listen to Nicki Minaj go off, and I'm going to play a little bit of Chrissy's part, and then we're going to come back and we're going to discuss. Okay, let's go.
Let me just address something. When people say things like about who I'm with, about, oh my God, you lowered your standards and you should have been this and this and that, it's so sad to me that you hoes are so readily and available to sell your pussies to the highest fucking bidder, that when people find real love, and when a person is with a nigga that loved or liked them before they had a dime in their fucking pocket, how do y'all not understand that? How do y'all not understand happiness versus clout? Y'all be wanting bitches to be with niggas just to post some fake ass relationship goals on IG so y'all could fake believe in some fake shit that they fake don't even stand for. Fake ass cheating and beating in abusive relationships. That's what y'all want? That's what y'all bitches want? I'd rather be with a nigga that I really know is about that motherfucking life and ain't about to play with none of you fucking niggas or bitches.
Can't.
And that loved me before I had anything, before I had a dime to my name, before my name was Nicki.
Oh,
so
Nika.
how fucking dare you?
Oh, God.
Talk about lowering standards, excuse me? These bitches is lowering their standards being with a nigga for a fucking check and talking about and acting like this nigga ain't fucking playing the shit out of them behind closed fucking doors. I want you hoes to wake up. But it's the truth. It's like, how fucking dare you? You know what? Money cannot buy me happiness and good sex, too. Money can't, and a lot of, I ain't gonna say no names, but a lot of these people that y'all want me to be with, be fake on the low gay, be abusive, mentally and physically and verbally.
I agree. I agree. You
And
don't
here
have
come
to clap
Wendy.
with me. You don't have to clap with me. But this woman has amassed a fortune, and she's very famous. And no matter what you have, when you turn the key to your abode and there's no one there but crickets, it's not all good.
So what you just heard was a clip from a recent episode of Nicki Minaj's Queen Radio, and also a clip from a recent episode of The Wendy Show. And I want to speak on this because I do not agree with how both of these famous, very influential black women are selling this desperate dating mentality to the millions of black women who follow them, especially when we have countless examples of celebrity black women dating down and ruining their lives or severely disrupting their lives, including Wendy. I mean, she's in a situation like this, which is why it was very annoying hearing her defend Nicki's dating choices and, you know, talking about being alone, as if you can't end up alone after a man cheats on you or sucks you dry for all of your money, and which she's in a situation kind of like that now. And let me address what Nicki said. I am not saying that she is wrong. Her man may genuinely love her, and maybe he's not using her for her money. And I do agree that other qualities besides having a lot of money is important when it comes to choosing a man to be the father of your children, or, you know, agreeing to marry him or whatever. But just because you are with a man who loved you before the fame and the money doesn't mean that that same man can't come back around and use you for your money or use you for clout when you get on. Secondly, to address what she said about women selling their pussies to the highest bidder, Nicki, you made a song called Looking Ass Niggas, among other songs, where you are shitting on broke men and how they're not good enough for you. That's all you say in your music, Nicki. But now that you are dating a looking ass nigga, the women who aren't or refuse to do so are now hoes that are selling their pussies to the highest bidder. Really, Nicki? And I know that rappers, both male and female,
Okay.
lie in their music about shit that they're not doing in real life.
Okay,
I
so listen,
understand that's just the.
her video goes on for 15 minutes, and every single part of that video just has so many gems, so much juicy, just hearty gems inside of it, that I want you to go listen to that video. I'll put the link below. So thank you, Chrissy. Good looking out for providing wonderful content and for speaking your mind. It's through people like you that inspire me to continue to speak my mind more forthrightly, and I'm going to be speaking more clearly going forward about my thoughts about things, because I don't have the time to waste with people who are of a certain mentality where they are lost anyway. I'm going to be speaking directly and forthrightly to my targeted audience, and I'm not going to be pulling and holding any punches going forward. I have realized who my targeted audience is and who my targeted audience is not, and I'm just let's talk about this. Okay. So, as you know, this Kenneth Petty person spent a total of 11 years in jail. Um, he was in jail as a teenager for pulling out a knife and forcing intercourse onto a young lady, which is rape. So that's what he went to jail for in the first place. The reason I'm spelling is because of the YouTube word crawlers that will pull your video out of monetization for certain topics. So nonetheless, right? Then he went to jail for murder. And he has a history, but then, you know, Nicki's brother has a history of illicit activity with minors. He's supposedly some sort of, I can't even say, how do I put the word? Playing with children in the family, but not playing with them in an adult way in the family. So it's like, remember in one of the videos we talked about Stockholm Syndrome and how your mind will contort reality in order for you to be able to survive. It'll create information that just doesn't really exist there. So Nicki is in this situation, and remember when that guy came out and was like,
you don't want to be like Nicki Minaj, almost 40 years old with no ring and no baby. Tighten up.
And then just now, a few months later, now it's been said that Nicki Minaj and this man have applied for marriage licenses in the state of California, which is one of the worst states for a person marrying a person with significantly less money than them to get married in, because this state will chop up your assets. And it's like Chrissy and other women who are speaking about this are mentioning such amazing things. It's like, love is one thing, assets are another. As wonderful as love is, what assets are we both bringing into the relationship at the same time? And if anything goes south, what assets are we leaving with? You know what I mean? Like, the assets we accumulate during your relationship, that's one thing. But what I came in with, and just being smart about navigating your own money. And I don't know what she's done, and I'm hoping that she has done that, right? But she's going off about this guy. And it's like, she's talking about hoes selling pussy for out there and all this other stuff, right? And it's like, I remember I had a chance to talk with a pimp, a bona fide pimp. He had a harem of working ladies. I forgot what he called them, lovely ladies of leisure. That's what he called them. And he said, you know, there are lots of women who sell their vagina for any number of things. They sell it for a marriage certificate. They sell it for a marriage license. We got mothers out there pimping the daughters so that they use the virginity as a selling point to sell their daughters to a person in exchange for marriage, right? Now, coming from Nicki, you know, the way I can imagine that her mind has created for her that she loves this man. Part of me wonders, you know, once a person reaches a certain age and all this other stuff, you know, like the man was saying, you don't want to be like the baby. Remember him? Ugh, right? So that you convince yourself. How many times have you convinced yourself that you were really in love and you were just really in a situation with an unavailable person because you yourself were not really ready to settle down, but you convinced yourself that you were in love and you felt all of this pain? I did that. I was young and wanted to travel and wanted to be free. And I used to date unavailable men. And I used to just, oh, my poor broken heart. And every time I would have a broken heart, I would go travel. I said, why not just cut the crap and let me just go travel anyway? You know what I'm saying? And not every time, but I remember there were about two times. My heart was so devastatedly broken that I got on the road and just saw the world. I said, well, why not just cut out the middle trauma and the drama? Cut that out and just go get out on the road. But I realized, because I had to look at the pattern of what it is that I was doing. I had to look at the pattern. And my pattern was dating unavailable men who ultimately allowed me to continue to be single. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, the pain, but oh, this pain I'm single and free. You know what I'm saying? And so here she is with this guy. She's 35. She wants to get married and all this other stuff. And I'm going to say this as a caveat, right? For those of you out there who think you know people, you don't know people until you see their significant other. Because people are like, oh, this is not who Nicki is. No. This is Nicki. This is who she is. She's telling you a story of who it is that she is. She's telling you a story of the broken parts on the inside that need fathering, that need mothering, that need love, the unlovable parts that she feels that she is. And so she's talking about, oh, how he loved her before the money. Okay. When he has gone on the record, oh no. He hasn't gone on the record. There was a young lady he was dating when he first got with Nicki who went on the record to say that he texted her and was like, look, I'm working on getting this bag for us. That's why I'm hanging out with Nicki. And with all of this information out there, she's still going forward in this situation. And you know what it's like? You know, they say love is blind. So it's like, why not just go ahead and be like, just be honest. That's all I say. Be honest with yourself. Just be like, you know what? I'm of a certain age. I want to be with a person who I knew before I became famous. I want to have children. I think that this person, we had a good relationship. I think they're going to be down for me, and I would rather have children or get married now. I don't want to get older and have high risk pregnancy or whatnot. So I'm going to take a gamble on this situation. I'd rather just be honest with yourself. Be honest. You know, I hated myself so much. I didn't want to commit SUIC, you know. I didn't want to commit that. So I found a person who would beat me to a pulp because I despised myself so much that I didn't have to self-harm. I could self-abuse through this relationship. Be honest with yourself. What is Nicki's truth in relation to this? I don't know. But when it comes to dating men who have less money than you, you know, here was Wendy Williams talking about when you turn the key and there's nobody there but crickets. No, there's somebody there. There's you. You're there. Like, there are people who ask me, you know, they see me on the road and they're like, oh, you're traveling by yourself? I'm like, no, I'm traveling with myself. Because I am somebody. How much do you enjoy your own company? Let me tell you something. When I turn the key to the door of my RV and I enter, it's like I come into the womb. It's like a cocoon where I feel it's my respite from the world. I feel at home, and I enjoy my company. I dance with myself, I cook with myself, I compliment myself, I enjoy myself, I take care of myself, I self-love through myself. I enjoy, and you know what, and it's like that also has a down part, because when you really, 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 truly enjoy your company, maybe a little too much, sometimes you opt to stay with yourself rather than with other people. So don't go to extremes. Don't be like me. Continue to commingle. But it's like not everyone feels this dearth on the inside. And if you do feel a dearth and an emptiness on the inside, I implore you to work on those things inside of yourself so that you can come into a relationship as a cup that is filled, not a cup that's half empty. This is my book. The Book of Affirmation, Self-Love. I talk about this in all of my videos now because it's so important, because I've seen how this book has changed people's lives. I see how it changes and continues to change my life in terms of leveling up, making more money, having the confidence to be able to ask for more money, to demand money, and to let that money come in without self-sabotaging and getting rid of the money. This book even changes my life. This is my book. My book is written in. I write in my own book. I write in it, and I still have a ways to go. As you see, there's still some pages that are not all filled out because I let the universe guide me to the right pages. And even though it's a thin book, there are a lot of passages in here and a lot of different ways to write. I've been writing in this book for 3 months, and I still haven't finished filling out the whole thing yet, because it takes food for thought. It takes getting into that space. It takes rewriting that subconscious programming. You have to do the work on that. So this book is my secret key right there on how I navigate through this world, on how I level up on the inside, on how I love myself enough to let abundance rain down on me in so many different ways. And I'm sure you all have noticed that since I've been doing the book, I've been slimming up, skin is glowing, I'm looking younger. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Me personally, I don't know the magic that exists inside of this book. But it's like the hands from the heavens. I heard that when you're inspired, you are in spirit. And it's like the hands from the heavens reached down and wrote this book through me. And it's like there's sometimes that I feel like I was just the vessel. Like the book came through me and I'm just the vessel. It went out there into the world and it's doing its own thing. But it's like I didn't create the power of this book. I merely listened to the command that came through me. And I wrote this book. And this book, this is what I'm saying, even I use it. And when I scroll through it, it's like sometimes it brings me to tears because it's the right page that I need at just the right time. And some of those pages I come to more than once. As you see, some of them are more filled out than others. And it's at the right time to be able to get me to where it is that I need to be. You want to talk about leveling up. It's the stuff that happens on the inside that lets you know what it is that you're worth, what it is that you will stand for, and what it is that you won't stand for. So Nicki is telling us her story of who it is that she is, what it is that she feels that she's worth. She's a multimillionaire. She's a multimillionaire who traverses through many different circles. You think that's the only man who was interested in her, but there's a part of her that is still launched back there in Queens. You hear her? Get out of here! You act like a nigga this, nigga that, a nigga who was there for you before you had money. So it's like, so her value system is judging a man by who she was when she used to call herself Onika before she was Nicki Minaj, because there's a disconnect that's happening with probably the people who are coming to her now. Because listen, even me with a little bit of notoriety and a little bit of fame that I have, I still have people who want to be hangers on, who want to come and just glean a little bit of the shine. They just want the shine to shine on them a little bit. So look, I get it. However, we have to reach into the heart of a person and reach into our spirit and know who's aligned with us. Know who's aligned with us. And perhaps maybe this is who she is. This is who she is, and this is the person that she wants. I mean, many of you out there feel the feeling on the inside of you about this match, but it ain't none of your business. This is the choice that she's making and the direction that she wants to go in. Because I saw the image, I saw a video of her. I don't remember because when this first came out, I didn't speak about it. I minded my business. But now I'm speaking out about it. There was a video of her. It was a whole big table. It was a whole big table of all of these guys and people with the bubble gooses and all this stuff sitting at the table. And when the bill time came, people was like, with their phone, I'm out with Nicki, And when the bill time came, the phone had panned, right? The phone had panned. And it was like, the phone panned to Nicki. And all I heard was Erykah Badu in my ears. All I heard, and I gotta reach down in my purse and pay your way and your homeboy's way and even your cousin's way. They don't never have to pay. Don't have no cars. Hang around in bars. Try to hang around with. Ooh. So it's like. That's all I heard in my mind. Because it's like when the bill time came for the whole table, it's the millionaire at the table is going to pay. So that you don't even have a man who is there to be able to be like, to be the man and be like, baby, I got it. Because he doesn't have it like she does. But what's important to her is that she has a person that she feels loves her for her, who just so happened to conveniently come back around out of his bid to come look her up. And so we know, young love is this, that, and the other. How great was this young love that the young love back in the days before you had the money didn't lead to anything that would keep his behind out of jail back then? Huh? How good was the young love then that it didn't keep him on the straight and narrow to want to rise up to be the type of man that you needed back then? So that now that you are the multimillionaire, he comes around while he's dating somebody else, texting to them about how he's trying to get the bag and you the bag, baby. How is that? So I'll tell you this, and I'm going to get out of the video. I'm going to tell you this story. There was a young man, because I date men who have money. Everybody has different levels of money. I was at TKO Skin at the time, and it was this guy who had come to the production loft, right? He had given me a ride to the production loft, and he was like, oh, he wanted to see, the business, because I told him I had a skincare company, right? I had 3 employees. I had a production loft where the product was made, and inventory and all this other stuff, right? So he dropped me off and he came up to the loft and he looked around, and I'll never forget the look on his face. He was just like, he looked around and he was like, wow. And he was like, you know what? This is just, I really have to step my game up. He was like, looking at this and seeing how successful you are. He was like, I need to get my money together. I need to get my money up. And I respected that, and I never heard from him again. He never spoke to me again. He went on the grind. And for those of you who have not yet watch my video, Will Your Man Be Wealthy? 10 Ways to Tell. Go watch that video. And he went on the grind, and I respected that. And so, it's like there are far too many of us women out there who will hop behind him, like the flower hopping behind the bee. And you don't see flowers are still for a reason. And it's the bee who goes around for a reason. So we're out there like flowers, uprooting ourselves from our feminine, hopping behind and being like, no, it's okay, baby. You don't have to have money. Come back, boom, 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 come back, boom, boom. And that's how we're going out there acting. When we need to respect, this man is not going to feel like a man in a relationship where he doesn't feel like a man. He ain't going to feel like a man. Men are very particular creatures. And they take a sense of pride in being able to take care of their woman. And sooner or later, it's going to begin to deteriorate at his manhood, so that he's going to go out there and look for a way that he could feel more manly. And that's going to be in the arms of the woman that he's bringing the bag back to. Look and see. Look and see. I ain't pulling no punches. I'm not pulling any punches. So it's like when men who don't have a certain amount of money come to me and they're like, oh, it's okay. I say, I know that it's not. It may be okay right now when I'm nupunoni. But when all is said and done and you not feeling like a man, and on the reverse, I'm not feeling like you much of a man either, then we've done both of us a disservice. This is why I don't settle. This is why when I turn my key, listen, you want to talk about turning your key and feeling something when you come inside? I know what it's like. I know what it's like to sit out in your car not wanting to go inside. I know what that's like. I know what it's like to be in the presence of another human being and still feel alone. I know what that is like. I know what it's like to be in the presence of another person and be irritated by the very oxygen that goes in and out of their nostrils. Just them breathing irritates you. I know what that's like. And so I also know and can appreciate what it's like to be able to come home and be in peace. I know what that's like too. And so I would do many a people a disservice by putting them in a situation where I know ultimately I wouldn't be able to respect them as the man. You can't make moves like the man when I can buy and sell you in one day. Like Beyonce had that song, to the left. She's like, she was like, I could buy another you in a minute. Really? That means that you didn't really choose well if you could buy and sell your man in a minute, baby. That's on you. That's on you, sis. That's on you. So it's like, I know. Listen, I know. When you choose well, you align yourself with a man who has already risen to the mantle of manhood and continue to stay in that mantle of manhood in that relationship. And if he can't, you have these misalignments that come up. He starts looking for ways that he can feel more manly in the arms of another woman. And then who does that help at that point? Who does it help? Anyway, listen, I love you all. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, what? Most importantly, what? That's right. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. And part of loving yourself is sometimes taking a step back, looking at your situation for what it is and being honest with yourself. Oh, yes. Be honest with yourself. And also, you know what? Be honest with realizing that your friends, your family, you learn the true story of who it is that they are by who it is that they choose and what it is that they continue to perpetuate. Like, even after all of that nonsense Wendy has been through, she gonna come out and say something like that? It just shows you her mentality. So you know what it's like? Yeah. And then Nicki talks about the penis and there's a part of me that imagines that she's digmatized. You know what I'm saying? And all of that stuff is chemical. All of that attraction and all that stuff is just chemical. You know? Listen, I don't want to talk anymore about that. I'll allow you to say what hasn't been said below. What did I miss? I'll listen to your thoughts below. Tonya TKO, and I'm out. Make sure you thumbs up the video, like the video, share the video, post the video in some groups on Facebook, get other people's point of view, and I will see you later. Peace.